Welcome to the winter term 2024 of the Associate of Occupational Science degree program. My name is Scotty Gex. I'll be your instructor for this course, Introduction to Excavation. Uh, During the course, we're going to be focused, of course, on earth moving operations. And we'll be talking about everything from road survey stakes to planning and excavation, uh, working with rock, uh, and some other additional subjects that I might throw in there depending on how we're doing on what we're doing. Uh, there are several chapters in this book. There's 500 and something pages in this book. We're not going to cover everything that's in this book, and we may cover some things that's not in this book. The book is very good. It has been around for a while. Parts of it are hard to read. In some cases, when I'm looking at some of the drawings, I use a magnifying glass to make sure I'm reading the right either information or number values. Uh, Again, the course has an emphasis on excavation, uh, and we will talk about relevant subject matter following the textbook. The uh, the home page is what you're looking at, and I'm thinking I don't have a roster yet, uh, but I feel like that most of you may this may be your first term with us. I don't know. I think I have a tailgate introduction. I'll get to that in just a minute, and I'll talk about the tailgate. Uh, but first, let's go over the home page, and we'll click on a couple of modules here in a minute. The very first thing I would like to talk about is these links on the home page. It has the syllabus. It has the course calendar. Do not use it. It's not what I go by. We use weekly module. In other words, each week will be on, you're on in week one right now. So by the end of this week, we will have completed module one. Module one is simply an introductory thing. Get your textbooks and things like that, which we'll go over here in just a minute. The required material is in the syllabus, which we will go through thoroughly. There's an announcement thing. Some of these things you may not be able to see. Look over to the left and you'll see some other links. You don't get to see all of those because some of them are just for the instructor. The ones you need you will be able to see, and they will be usable, such as Big Blue Button. Big Blue Button is like Zoom. There is a video uh, in the week one module that talks about how to use Big Blue Button. It's very, very simple, and we may have some what are called synchronous classes from time to time where we get together face to face. Don't miss those. Those are extremely important. Uh, I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. So the synchronous class is a face-to-face. Most of our classes will be me on a video pointing out things on a screen that you will be able to see and talking about those things. This course is technical. That means it's not in all cases easy to convey the material, especially the drawings and some of the processes or techniques that will be described are difficult sometimes to get across to the student what you're talking about. Now, let me jump around a little bit here because I want to remind you that if you, especially those of you who haven't been involved in the course, in any courses, that we will have an in-person segment, which usually takes place during week 7 and week 8, which right now would look like, let's see, would look like uh, February 22, 23, 24, and week 8 would be February 28, 29, and March the 1st. Now, those are tentative, but I'm just throwing them out there so you'll have time to think about those dates. And I'll have to get with uh, the campus where you will be participating in the in-person training. And those will be either Oklahoma City or Georgia, depending upon where you enroll through. Some of you probably enrolled through the Oklahoma City campus, and many of you probably enrolled through the Georgia campus. So that will be where you take your in-person training. But we'll talk about that as we go along. Back to the home page. Let's go down again. There's a syllabus that we're going to talk about. The required materials in the syllabus. Announcement I use a lot, and it could be used to clarify our subject matter. If I'm giving a video and I can't figure out something, the way I'll get back to you with the answer to what I couldn't figure out when I get it figured out would probably be through an announcement. Your in-person training dates will be confirmed through an announcement. Any upcoming Big Blue Button or synchronous meetings I schedule will be you will be reminded through announcement. So announcement I do use a lot. Now the modules are the modules, and we'll be looking at a module here in just a minute. The tailgate. The tailgate is carries a lot of weight. I evaluate not just what you know about the subject matter, but I will be evaluating your written communication skills. We're not going to be texting here. All the writing we will do, even in essay responses, will be your grammar, your mechanics, let's say, the way you put your sentences together. All of that's going to be taken in consideration. When you leave a degree program, you need to be able to write. I don't know, like a text language, we don't do that here. Uh, So get ready for getting hammered if you can't capitalize I at the beginning of the sentence when you're talking about yourself. These are the things that that were brought up in high school for many of you. So uh, writing it carries a lot of weight here. So if you want to know about me, you can click on this button, and let's do that just so I can show you how to get back from here. Let's click on that, and this is me. And this just talks about my military background, my education, my experiences, formal training that I was trained by the National Center for Construction Education and Research. And I've been working with them for quite 20 years probably. I've been on some of their task force. I've been a master trainer. I've been a craft trainer, et cetera, et cetera. So my background in construction is a lot of oil field, inland and offshore, and more so than even civil construction, like what we're talking about. Although in the oil field industry, I was around a lot of earth moving equipment because of pipelines and setting up compressor stations and things like that. So I got a couple of daughters. They're still around. They're grown now. I live in southeast Oklahoma, and it is truly a remote village. in southeast Oklahoma. Now, I want to get back to where my course is, so I just scroll down. I'm not in grades 201, or you're not. You're in excavation 101. So let's click that button. And here we are, back home for the course. Okay, so I seem to be rambling here because I'm thinking and talking at the same time. I make notes, and then I forget I make notes. So the home page, I think we've covered a couple of things I want you to do is make sure you either read this about the tailgate here, or for sure you'll read about it in the syllabus. At the end of week 1, you'll take a test over the syllabus. So as we're going through it, pay attention, you know, make notes and things like that. It'll be your first graded assignment. So having said that, I'm not forgetting anything, I don't think, that we need to talk about. Now, let's get this syllabus thing out of the way. Probably a really important thing to have, but we want to get it over with. So here again is how you get in touch with me. And how you get in touch with me is important. Getting in touch with me is more important. If you get behind, if something comes up, the sooner you let me know, the better we can work it out and get things done. You do not want to get behind and stay behind in an online course. Some of you may have taken online courses. There's a tailgate discussion in the week 1 that I will show you directly that talks about what I call the 3 must. Is self-advocacy. That means the ability to speak up for oneself. Time management, get yourself a plan when you're going to study, what you're going to study, how long you're going to allow yourself for this and that, and stick to it. It'll pay off. My office hours are from noon till 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, Monday through Friday. I'm in Central Standard Time, so that's what this course is going to be based on. So, but I'm telling you, if it's not 2 a.m. in the morning, but if it's 8 o'clock, if it's 9 o'clock at night and you're trying to work on something and you can't figure it out, pick up the phone. Usually that's the quickest, easiest, and the best way to get the problem solved. If you forgot how to do something, don't sit there and just waste it. If you can't do it, you can't do it. Get in touch with me. You can also use the Canvas inbox. Yeah, right here. That's a real handy way. It'll come to me in the form of an email, I think, and I can reply to any kind of questions you have in there, and you will get an email from me through that inbox. I believe that's the way it works. But if you really need something right away, this phone number, I carry my phone with me most of the time. So this is the course number. This is the course name. It also goes by the name of Excavation 1 in some of our communications that you may receive. It says here we're going to start on October the 9th. And I'm thinking it's the 8th, but you will know. I believe it is the 8th. It's jumped back and forth, but you're gonna be informed of which one it is. But I do know it's gonna go until December. Not December. Is it? Yeah. No, 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 no. That needs to be changed. This, this. I'm gonna have to work on this. I apologize. This course is gonna go from January the 8th until March the 16th. January 8th till March the 16th. Make a note of that. Let me do it right now in front of you. Correct my mistake. That's going to be a 4 as of today. How about that? if I can get there, through, not this, March, what did I say? The 16th, 17th, because it will end on the 16th, but officially it's called March the 17th. There. Look at there. We fixed it in flight. So I'm going to go update this guy and so we can continue on here. So update, update, update. Now, let's see how this reads now. January 8th, 2024, March 17th, 2024. But think in terms of week to week. Week 1 is module 1. Week 2 is module 2. There's no such a thing as a meeting day or time that we go on a weekly basis, which we'll talk about here in a moment. This is a brief description. It covers the topic of excavation with a focus on identifying and understanding the uses of excavation equipment. In addition, the student will become familiar with preparing for and from an administrative perspective, managing a work site where excavation will occur. The course will cover the grading and excavation process, from how to read and understand grade stakes, plans, and laying out drainage channels, whatever it takes to go through a site preparation. That's what we do. We get things ready for what's going to be built. We cut out the road subgrade where the paving is going to go, and so forth. So this right here is what I think about each of these types of assignments. These really are all assignments. Your quizzes are weighted at 15%. In other words, 15% of whatever your grade is will on quizzes will be 15%, carry 15% weight. Tailgate assignments carry the same weight. Your midterm will carry 15% and your final exam will carry 20%. You need to have, this Canvas does not work well over the phone, if at all. So you need a laptop, desktop, or a tablet that's has enough space to deal with Canvas. So I think, what is it saying here? Google Docs, Microsoft 365. I don't use either any of that, but you can set up yourself an account if you want it, and it tells you where to do that. All written work will be saved and submitted in a document. There may be a Excel from time to time, but I can't think of one right off my head. Most things you'll submit me will be anything, like some of the assignments will be to go out and find me a slope somewhere in a work zone or just on the side of the road and take a picture of it and tell me what it's there for. Why is it sloped or what's going on? That's would be like you take that with your phone camera, put it on send it to your email, and then send that or put it in your pictures and then send that to me. So that could be one way of submitting homework. Technical questions. The Canvas really does a good job. They've always helped me if I have problems with something. And there's a lot of Canvas guides. As a matter of fact, there's too many. And so you can ask me also. I've been working with Canvas for a while. I don't know everything, but I know a lot. So if it's your first time online, you may be required to take a Canvas student orientation. I'm not sure if we're doing that or not, but they will let you know at the administrative level. Policies, the first thing you need to know is, since we're not meeting, like day-to-day attendance, we have our attendance is based on a weekly basis, beginning Monday at 12 a.m. Central Standard Time. That's in the morning, and ending on Sunday 11. So that's the weekday right there. That's when you will be assignments will be made available to you, and they will be due to me by this time, Sunday. So in a distance learning context, to demonstrate academic attendance by the student, documenting that a student has logged into an online class is not sufficient by itself. In other words, just because you log into Canvas doesn't mean I'm going to count you as present. The class instructor, it's up to me to demonstrate that you participated in an online discussion during any given week, such as the tailgate. It's up to me to decide or determine what constitutes commencement of attendance in a tailgate. Well, saying something, posting a response uh, is a commencement of a discussion. If a student enrolls in a class and is reported as not attending by the course instructor, the student can be dropped from the course. Now, if something comes up, all you got to do, give me a phone call, send me an email, or a message through the inbox. Let me know that you're sick or your child is sick or work issues, work related. I feel like probably most of you have full-time jobs. I'm very much aware of how difficult it is, especially if you have children, other family members that need your attention. They come first. So what you got to do is let me know. Back to that self-advocacy deal. This code of conduct is the short form of this is behave as an adult. You know, behave as an adult. My favorite definition of maturity is to experience an emotion and not have to act on it. So just be respectful for others, and I'll do the same for you. Canvas is our LMS, our online management system. Netiquette, what a unique word. Here we go. Polite, respectful, and coherent. I like that little phrase there. No internet slang, no text slang. It not excessive, no, none, because whatever you're saying is not going to count. If you got an IDK or an OMG, you know, when you're communicating, and I'm assuming that you guys are in this course because you have higher ambitions, if there's such a thing, than a laborer on a construction site. Perhaps you're looking down the road to move into management. This is where you start preparing yourself for that position, that opportunity that may come open for you. You've always heard it, uh, where preparation meets opportunity. So be ready when you leave here. That's my job, and yours too. It takes 200% to benefit from this course. My 100% and your 100%. This is not like taking a pill and knowing all this stuff. You have to be an active listener, active learner. The This is just a little what I can expect. I'll be prepared. You be prepared. I'll be here. You be here. Uh, I'll be fair. And if you think it's not, remember the grievance policy trip we took back there. And if you need reminding, I'll show you. It's on the home page. It tells you what you need to do. If you can't, if you think you're uh, being treated unfair by me, and I'm not changing it, and even though you've asked me that this is not acceptable to you or whatever, but we have ways of dealing with that, and I have a boss, we have a team that settles these things. It's just not all up to me. Uh, it says makeup tests will not be accepted. read the next line. It says, I got an asterisk and an asterisk. If you have work related or family related issues that's going to interfere with the testing date, let me know in advance if that's possible. If not, uh, at the soonest possible minute, please let me know that you can't get the test or especially a midterm or something like that, that you can't get it in by the suspense date. The suspense date for all assignments are Sunday at 11:59. Uh, Weekly assignments are due on Sunday. No, there it is. And any work submitted the following Monday after 5 p.m. will receive a 10% reduction in points. And that's kind of up to me. If you're late and your work is lacking, and I can see that there's not been much effort put in, I'll probably enforce that. If you're late for a good reason, you know, but you start making a habit of turning in on Monday instead of Sunday, and you'll be penalized this until you straighten up that uh, habit, because we need to keep moving forward. Let's see. This talks about the privacy stuff and your rights, the Privacy Act, and you can get to all of this through this link here. It takes you to the catalog. If you don't have a catalog, please request one as soon as you're enrolled. You'll probably be visiting with a fellow named Daryl Woodrum. He's the one that handles all that kind of stuff, VA questions. I don't know, nor do I, or am I involved in VA requirements. So, but here again is that grievance policy, and it'll take you to all of this stuff that you see here has already been done, and it will be done again. So this will start changing, and these dates will start changing as we move forward. Some are already trying to change. Once I get your class updated, what this is like the course doesn't change. It's just all the weeks and the dates and the times and things like that do change. So as soon as I get those things updated, you'll start seeing this little section on the summary, it's called, start updating. So don't count on this. Don't go to your module using this. Go to your module from the home page where it says uh, modules. And speaking of that, let's see if I can find my way home. This is a good way right here. Click the home button. And here we are back again where we started. Uh, Looking at the modules real quick, this is what you will see first. Uh, this means that it's published. After this meeting, I'll probably unpublish it until the start date. I will have a video. This one will be posted here so that you can see what's going on. And under instruction, let's see what we got for week overview. This is the video for uh, how to use the big blue button. And on this left panel, you should have a link for big blue button, a link for modules, and perhaps a link for the syllabus. That's about all you'll be able to see on that left panel, I think. But in the weekly overview, demonstrate familiarity with the online format. That's what we're doing right now. The outcomes, that's what I'm reading now. Each module will have the overview, which is like basically your objectives, the structure of the course, the school's expectation, and this will evolve even more so as we move along. You will need to complete the syllabus quiz and describe the equipment used in the course, which is your equipment. You know, in-person training, you will be told or shown how to operate a laser level if you don't know how. Uh, you might add in your discussion I should have put it in there if you've had experience in construction or not. Doesn't matter to me. Just it's sometimes it's easy. It makes things a little easy for me if I know. So I'm gonna go instead of going here. I'm gonna go back to, let's see, you can right click here to get back and look at course modules for introduction to excavating on yours. I think you can see it on mine, and it's going to take us back to the modules. So as we move on through this first week, we're going to be looking at the 3 musts for online success, in my opinion. And I'm going to go ahead and open this, and you'll open it again. Before you can see anything that anybody else posts, you will need to go down here and click this. It's not going to highlight right now because I don't have it open. So you got to post your initial response before you can see the others' response. Why do you need to see other responses? Because here is like the the tailgate in brief. This is the what I expect from a tailgate. Like this one, for instance, is the 3 must, and here are the basics. Every single tailgate will have 3 posts in it. If you leave out one of these posts, it's going to cost you up to 35 points, and you can see there's 3 there. You leave out one of them, and you're probably not going to pass it because, like, your initial post must be submitted by Tuesday at 11:59. Your first of 2 replies to a student must be submitted by Thursday at 11 before 11 by 11:59. Your second of 2 replies or responses to a student must be submitted by Sunday at 11:59 p.m. So what I'm saying is this is staggered, as you can see, because we can't have people waiting up until the last minute to do all 3 of their responses. Why? Because I'm asking you to respond to what other students are saying right here. Whether they ask you a question or not. If they ask you a question, of course you would respond to them. But if they make it a statement and you need more clarification from that student, ask that student, could he clarify? You know, and the second response is just that I want you guys to be communicating with each other. In this particular tailgate, which is your first one, there are 3 issues that I talked about before. All students will encounter while participating in an online course. Managing these issues will provide a solid foundation for successful completion of this and other online courses. The first, I don't know what they call this, something about you, ability. I call it a skill. Is self-management, the ability to effectively realize where you're going and what happens when something happens. How do you respond to challenges? So self-management can be setting up a schedule, right? And then what's plan B, if this happens? That's self-management. Mostly it's adapt and overcome. Again, I realize everybody's has a, maybe all of you have family, maybe all of you have full-time jobs, and I'm very much aware of that. And I will help adjust to issues that arise. But this takes us to 2. If I don't know you're having problems, there's nothing I can do to help you. So you need to speak up. If you're behind, you don't understand, someone gets sick, you got to take off, you know, don't just take off. Let me know what's going on. That's all it takes. And I need, when you say I'm lost, that's no help. Be specific when you're having trouble with something. When you write me something, you tell me. If you're in 2 courses, you tell me which course you're talking about. You tell me which assignment you're covering. Don't say I'm having trouble with this assignment. Say I'm having trouble with the week 2 assignment or the week 2 quiz. Be specific so I can help. No, if as you go, you will learn. I have a little bit more about Canvas, but tech fluency means your ability to navigate through IT issues. And you're not here alone. If you check with me, I know people that know more than I do. I have access to people that help me in IT issues. So don't just sit there looking at the screen, not doing anything. Get in touch with me. So, in your 3 responses, I'm wanting you to address each of these issues, demonstrating a clear understanding of each. So, I'm suggesting to demonstrate that you understand, your responses may include these. These are not my questions. Can you explain it? And I don't want you to say, I can explain it. What I want you to do is explain it. Can you apply it? Self-management. Give me an instance when you have applied it. Don't tell me what it is. I already know what it is. Tell me what you think it is and how you intend on applying it. What is your perspective? How do you think? How do you see this, or how do you think about it? I'm giving prompts up here and things like that, uh, and but I'm interested in what you think. Uh, so can you relate to what I'm saying? Those are the things I need to know. I can relate to this because back in 19 whatever this happened, I had this job where I had to do these things, etc. So do you have self-knowledge? And that would be the same as relating. Have you experienced with or practice either of these skills? And I reiterate, these are not questions I'm asking of you. These are ways to demonstrate understanding these. Even though they have a question mark, I'm just putting them up there for you. So I won't be doing this for every discussion, but I want you to see what I'm wanting and give you some ideas of how you may respond or reply. So your initial response, as we talked about here, your first response. Your initial response will be to explain what is meant by self-management in this case. In other cases, your initial response will be to explain what is meant by uh, auto um, uh, automatic machine control, whatever the subject matter is. What is your initial response to the subject matter? And then give me some examples of problems that could arise from a lack of self-management. Do you have a plan for managing? Do you have one in place? What's going to be your greatest problem in effectively managing your time? Those are the things I want to hear from you. It's not like a test. It's just like these are the things I want to hear from you. Now, when you respond to another person, you can be and I'm saying it like this is what I want you to do, but I'm just giving you ideas. Will be to describe and give examples of self-advocacy to that student. Like you have a student named Joe, and it'll be a way to respond directly to Joe on your first response to another student, which will be your second uh, second response. So, and then the first response to another student, then the second response will be to address this skill, right? This skill is your first response to another. Self-management is your initial response to the subject. So feel free to add content above and beyond what I've said. And I'm just giving you some ideas and thoughts to give you things to think about. I don't want things like, I agree with George, you know. I agree with George, and here is why I agree with him. I disagree with Ralph, and this is why I'm disagreeing with Ralph. I like what you said, Jimmy. Tell me what you like about it. Tell Jimmy what you like about it so I can see that why you like it. We'll focus on the instructional material for the course. I mean, we'll try to parallel what we're doing, but every now and again, like I've got some articles that I come across that I want you to look at, and I want to talk about them, and this is what we'll do. I'll put a link to the article up. You read the article, and then I'll have some things to say. What did you think about, you know, A, B, or C that was in the article? And again, I can't emphasize this enough. That's my email. This is my phone. This is the inbox from uh, the inbox is in the blue. I think what I call the global link to the far left, which has dashboard and things like that. That's where the inbox is. So let's get back to home. Let's see. Let me think what I have left off. Read all of this. Each of these first modules, I think, has a brief summary of this to remind you. I can't tell you how important it is to proofread your responses in your tailgates before you submit. Proofread, proofread, proofread. One, make sure you have 3 replies: initial, first response to another student, second response to another student. Each one of those each of those responses can total 35 points. That means if you forget your second response and you only have 2 responses, you're going to lose 35 points out of 100, and what that's going to leave you with is below 70, right? So you don't want to fail it just because you leave it out. If you try to hurry through this course, you're going to make mistake after mistake. Your subject matter isn't, I mean, your sentence structure is not going to be good. Uh, and I'm going to call you on it. You're going to show me that you're giving this effort. And when I work with students, I expect to see if you're down, you know, you're just way off from what I need you to be. As long as you're getting better as we go along, and if you have questions, ask me. But I'm not going to sit here and retype everything for you to show you what it should look like, sound like, or be like. Just ask me, what am I doing wrong? And then I might have time to give you an example of a sentence and things like that. But I'm just going to say your sentence structure is bad, and you need to look at that. And I'm going to try to tell you where I saw that. But I want to see progress. And if you start out good, I want you to, with good material, I want you to stay that way. You know, no taper and all. Okay. Well, I've been on my soapbox. I'm worn out. Uh, it happens to be the first day of 2024. So I'm going to shut my little video down and I'll have it posted by the time you enter into the first week. Thanks for watching if you watch. Remember to contact me if you have questions. Until you have access to your course, you don't have any access to me. But it's once again, it's scotty.gex at HECOLA.com. 405-684-6828. You guys have a good New Year's Day, or I hope you had a good New Year's Day.